Commander Shakowitz, are you all right?
I'll be home soon. They will surrender soon.
I still remember a quote from Captain Price in Modern Warfare 2, the OG, okay? You wonder what he said? You have to trust someone to be betrayed. I never did. I never did trust video game journalists.
The Bosch?
Intro.
That's not likely, not while they still have a way out.
That being
Show
You know, guys, it wouldn't be another day that ends in Y if we didn't have another example of an IGN review that has lit the internet on fire.
Yeah.
Today's video, we are going to be talking about IGN's Escape from Tarkov 1.0 version review that is very clearly being debunked heavily right now. And keep in mind, this is not the first time in history this has ever happened, and we're going to go over multiple examples of when IGN has been caught either lying or misrepresenting information purposefully or just flat out making shit up. We're going to be talking about this particular review where they gave it a 6 out of 10, and they called the game essentially okay, and it basically complained about cheaters, which essentially weren't even cheaters. They were just players that had way more hours than the journalists that reviewed this video game. We got a massive debunking over on X that is taking the social media by storm. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about their other previous reviews where they gave Where Winds Meet a 6 as well. It's complete nonsense, and it's everything you would expect from the Western gaming media, and it's exactly the reason why nobody trusts them anymore.
On that position there. Huxley, find some more sandbags.
Second intro.
From Major Holden.
The Poles and Canucks have taken Hill 262. Jerry's fallen back. Hard.
Towards us?
Every last godforsaken one of them.
We're gonna need more ammo.
I'm gonna make it clear, okay? This is something I learned from Gara the Rage, okay? Another creator. He said, regardless what reviewers said, okay? Regardless what they say, play what you like, okay? If you like Escape from Tarkov, go for it. These grifters that you said, they are there to give you information, okay? They didn't say you cannot enjoy it, okay? If you love the game, go for it. These people, like Hypnotic, Smash JT, their job was to at least highlight the good, the bad. That's it. Same for me, I will always highlight the good and the bad. And also, I'm gonna make another review. I don't know, I could call it a full review since for Where Winds Meet, since it is free to play, there's still a lot of things to do. So I think the moment by 15th of December, or maybe at least 15th of December, or maybe before the end of 2025, I would make my full review. I also need to make my review on Ninja Gaiden. Yes, Ninja Gaiden 4.
Hit that like button, subscribe button, all that good YouTube nonsense, and make sure to comment down below. Otherwise, your view is not going to count. And well, quite frankly, that just sucks. Today's video, we're talking about IGN. It's an established gaming media website, if you even want to call them that at this point. That is quite frankly just activists that are LARPing as games journalists, and they decided to put out an Escape from Tarkov 1.0 review and gave the game a 6 out of 10. Now, obviously, Escape from Tarkov has been out for a long time, and the reason why they're reviewing this video game is because it officially went into 1.0 recently. It was in a supposed beta for the longest time, you know, like prototypical video games like this that stay in early access or beta for a long time, and it finally released on Steam. Now, when releasing on Steam, it actually did okay. It didn't do gangbusters numbers, but truthfully, it's doing okay for a video game that's been out for a very long time, that has an established fan base, that has nothing to do with Steam. When it released on Steam, it released to 47,800 players concurrently 20 days ago at the time of filming this video, with 35,435 people playing the game in a 24-hour peak and 33,500 people playing the game right now at the time of filming this video. The game is holding its player base pretty strong, almost a month in, and the majority of the players are still playing this game. Now, considering the conversation surrounding extraction shooters right now with the release of Arc Raiders, people are clearly more inclined than ever to be playing this particular video game. I feel like Arc Raiders has really opened up extraction shooters to the masses, and even though people were obviously playing Escape from Tarkov for a long time, all it takes is that one video game that goes mainstream to open up the genre to everybody, and now you're going to be seeing extraction shooters everywhere, even though we've already started seeing them everywhere. Everybody knows Bungie's trying to make their marathon video game that's going to release and most likely flop, so they're everywhere, right? People want to play extraction shooters just like everybody's making Survivor video games in the indie scene. That's just what happens. Now we have IGN. Let's look at this particular thread over on X. So I saw this post, and this is basically what started this video, with more polished extraction shooters entering entering the fold since its initial arrival in 2018, Escape from Tarkov's 1.0 version becomes more difficult to recommend in 2025. Now, the ironic thing is that IGN actually ended up praising Arc Raiders, which is a PvP forced video game, versus this game that ended up getting a 6. Now, I'm not saying Tarkov is perfect. Obviously, I don't think it is. But what I am saying is that it is extremely disingenuous to represent yourself as doing one thing when you're actually not even doing it to begin with. And this is a problem, a known problem with IGN. First, we're going to be covering the Escape from Tarkov review and the fallout from that with One Peg's post. And then we're going to be covering the history of IGN and their review controversies that they've had throughout the years. So let's talk about this. So IGN put out this post and it gave it a 6 out of 10. They said in the little cliff notes, as the hardcore pioneer of the extraction shooter, Escape from Tarkov is still quite compelling, but it's also saddled with issues that range from technical problems to pay-to-win monetizations. All very valid issues, by the way. You know, there's nothing wrong with saying that a game has technical problems, has pay-to-win monetization. Those are things that should be talked about. Those are things that should absolutely be called out. So I have no issues with that. The issue comes from the fact that they tried to claim that they played the game for XYZ amount of time, and they did XYZ amount of time in the PvP content, when in fact, that's actually a complete lie. We're going to be going over this post from One Peg. Shout out to One Peg for this post. Apparently, he's a YouTuber for gaming news and informational guides, so give him a follow. Consider checking him out over on X. He says the following: "Hi, your reviewer is lying straight up." And he says he stated he spent 10 hours in PvP and quit to play PvE due to cheaters.
Okay, let me see. So he spent 10 hours. According to One Peg, he didn't. He spent 30 minutes, maybe 2 raids. So the first raid was tutorial? Okay, I need to see this.
He didn't. He spent 30 minutes in PvP, maybe 2 raids. The first raid is a tutorial mission in which you cannot die. The second raid he recorded for your video review and died to an extract camper, said that one person was cheating and quit to play PvE Tarkov.
Really?
That person was not cheating. Your reviewer showed the death screen in the video review. I attached a copy of his account details. He's a typical 800+ hour Tarkov player that appears to have started just prior to during Tarkov's latest wipe. He stated he spent 120 hours in total in the game. He didn't. His account has 52 hours and 37 minutes old, not 120. Much of the time is spent in your stash, so he roughly had 70% of that time in PvE raids, except one, which I mentioned above already.
You know what? Before I start, I want to ask all of you one question. The game Escape from Tarkov, have you encountered cheaters like this reviewer claim? If so, let me know in the comments.
Concentrate your fire! Where's the damn artillery? Here comes more!
Wow. So, I didn't know about this, okay? According to this, I think, in my opinion, I believe this is a skill issue. No, generally, I feel like it's a skill issue. So here's... Yeah, I don't feel like this is a skill issue, folks.
Take cover! Find the mortars! Hopefully we'll be back with that bazooka! I'm empty! Reloading! Keep on! Hold the board! Run over! Find some cover! Where the hell's Humpty with that bazooka? Get in the war! Move up!
skill issue, folks. Trust me, I'm guessing it's a skill issue.
Stay close! Let's go!
Get your butt behind those sandbags!
Just breaking this down from the halfway point, this is something that they have done in the past. And again, we're gonna later on in this video, we're gonna go over other controversies from IGN where they have lied about their playtime. They have lied about saying what they actually did in the video game versus what they showed on screen and they talked about in their article. This is why nobody believes gaming journalism anymore. This is why nobody believes the Western mainstream gaming media. It's because, quite frankly, they have been caught lying about this just way too many times. They'll tell you that they did XYZ. They'll tell you that they put XYZ amount of hours into the game, but truth be told, they didn't. They didn't do a single thing about that. Quite frankly, these journalists want to go the path of least resistance.
Yes.
They want to. This is why they advocate for accessibility options that are just nonsensical. They advocate for boss skip options, right? They advocate for easy modes. This is why the meme about journalist mode is a thing. They advocate for these things because they don't want the challenge. The challenge means that it's going to take longer to do their job, even though they have early access to these video games 9 out of 10 times, and they're able to play the game weeks earlier compared to everybody else. It's still not enough. They need to make sure it's easy as hell. That way their job is easy as hell. They don't want to garner the skill or the ability or the, whatever it may be. They don't want to do it because it just inherently goes against their job. They are simply in this job because they can't get any other job.
That is correct. And don't forget one thing. I have to make a guess that these journalists got a lot of games to review. Practically time is above them. They don't have a time. I don't know how it works. Like he says, they don't want to get good because you know what they say, you can't spell ignorant without IGN. Oh. And I have to say, oh. Hunter!
German! Near that car!
No crap!
Move on! Hold this position! Oh, so hopefully get back!
Yeah. Cavalry's here, you
I
missed.
gotta reload!
Hold position! We'll be back with that bazooka!
Missed.
Into the church! Double time! Move!
Okay,
Guzo, get us
so
back
here's the
to
thing.
board. Let's move! Germans in the open! Northeast!
Okay. Look, folks, I had to say this. Oh. Okay. This is why nobody trusts journalists anymore. Again, like I said before, regardless of what journalists say, you play what you like, okay? Don't listen to these journalists.
Because it just inherently goes against their job. They are simply in this job because they can't get any other job.
Yeah.
Right? They can't get a job writing about politics, so they get a job writing about gaming, and then they talk about social impact in video games. This is what they do. So it's not surprising to see that the journalist says that he spent 120 hours playing the game when in fact he only spent 52 hours playing the game. And again, I know people are going to say, well, 52 hours is a lot. That's true, but don't come out here and say you spent over double the amount of time when you didn't do so. That's like, you're immediately lying. You're immediately disingenuous, right? It's not like you didn't know about something at the time that you reported on it and then information came out after the fact. That happens all the time. You literally just lied about your playtime. That's it. So in any case, it says if your reviewer cannot be honest and lies about his time spent in the game and his reasonings behind his opinions, it invalidates all of the first-hand experience when formulating his opinions and why. Tarkov absolutely has its problems. There's a ton of jank, poor optimization, etc. This does not mean BSG is undeserving of a fair review from you and your organization, and it certainly is undeserving of claims being made by a first-hand account that does not exist for your reviewer. And again, he lists a bunch of screenshots showcasing the accounts that this person supposedly used to play the game. And again, guys, it's an absolute joke. So obviously the fallout is massive over this. You know, people are completely making fun of IGN for just flat out lying. And again, I want to remind you guys, this is the same people that have attacked other video games in the past. Again, I don't know what their reason is for wanting to lie about Escape from Tarkov. You guys can, sound off in the comments your theories about that. But this is also an organization that flat out out, lied about multiple Asian studios, lied about the developers behind Black Myth Wukong, when their own Rebecca Valentine ended up getting, I believe, a Korean person to try their best to translate Chinese, even though they didn't speak Chinese, and then claim that it was an accurate translation. Again, guys, it's unbelievable what these people will do, and this is why their reviews are never taken seriously. These are the same people that will give Where Winds Meet a 6, but then they'll give Concord a 7. This is why numerical value reviews mean absolutely nothing really in the grand scheme of things, because you'll have the most inconsistency when it comes to certain websites like IGN, that once you start looking at their numbers, you're going to realize, bro, none of this makes sense whatsoever.
Yet you wonder why journalists are, or in this case video game journalists, is being laid off left, right, and center.
Get up or you're dead! Need air support, now! Popping smoke to mark our location! Stay with me, buddy.
Wenn du unter der Erde liegst, piss ich auf dein Grab, Army!
You're going home in a coffin! They're gonna kill us! Our own bomb! Guy's got a point! This happens again, I'm done calling in air support! Stay cool, alright? There's our way out! Entdeckung gehen los!
Again,
Come on, let's go!
I never trust IGN. Like Captain Price, this is a quote from Captain Price, okay?
Hey, Gary!
You have to trust someone to be betrayed. I never did.
German! Near that car! Entdeckung gehen los!
Jesus.
I'm low on rounds!
Honestly, I don't know what to say.
Coffin front!
I mean, seriously. I think this time, it's just like what I say in my second channel, folks. When I say how to be said when it comes to video game journalists, okay? That's the episode in my second channel. So here's the thing. One of the key things I mentioned is that video game journalists should be about gamers, okay? Not activists. That's the problem right now. See? Oh, wait.
Out of here!
Yeah.
Move! Take cover by that car! Come on, let's go!
Yeah. Again, one more thing you have to know is that I've played Where Winds Meet.
That's Baker Company. They need reinforcements on the other side of town. You heard the man. Take double behind those boxes.
Again, like I said,
All right, let's move out.
I've played Where Winds Meet, okay?
Use that car for cover. Out of here. Move.
So far, I'm 9 hours in, and I'm still playing, okay? There's still a lot of things I have to do. I have to travel a lot. So hopefully by the time December 15 arrives, I could get somewhere, right? Hopefully. And trust me, oh, I love it. Yes, Battle Pass, I haven't used it yet because I'm mostly of a single player game, and I'm loving it. Yeah.
Use those sandbags for cover.
I'm loving it. So here's the thing.
Come on, let's go. Germans, by the crate. Got one.
Got it.
Let's move.
Remember one thing. If IGN says this game is 6 or 5, and you see the player count higher, that means it's a good game, okay? Look, IGN gives Concord a 7. What happened after that? The studio shut down, the game delisted in 2 weeks. Or less than 2 weeks.
Go!
Yeah. So that's how you know. Because right now, journalists, which I don't know why they won't even accept that independent creators like YouTubers are taking over. But this is journalists, they're not gonna listen. They won't even listen.
I'm empty. Reloading. Germans
They will never
to the
will.
southeast.
about the Escape from Tarkov situation, I want to kind of back this up with a little bit of a history lesson regarding IGN and their controversies, a lot of which, by the way, has been fixed, edited, or just completely deleted. So we're going to talk about it. The first one we're going to talk about is the Philip Mewson plagiarism scandal all the way back in 2018. This is the most single well-documented and confirmed case of wrongdoing involving IGN. So what happened was IGN published a review of Dead Cells, written by freelancer Philip Mewson. Viewers then noticed that the review was strikingly similar, almost word for word in structure and phrasing, to a review by the YouTube channel called Boomstick Gaming. A side-by-side comparison eventually went viral for everyone to see and demonstrated that large parts of the script appeared to be completely plagiarized by Mewson. So IGN ended up responding and immediately removed the review and issued a public apology and then fired Mewson. They replaced the review with a newly written one by a different editor. However, after firing Mewson, he uploaded a video claiming that none of it was intentional and that he insisted that the plagiarism wasn't real. But what makes this hilarious is that after that particular statement came out, several other outlets then discovered additional cases where Mewson's previous IGN work appeared closely similar to Engadget articles, Nintendo Life reviews, even Kotaku coverage, and just other creators in general. None of these were officially confirmed by IGN because, well, they had already fired him, but the community and the journalists documented numerous examples of all of this going down. That's just one example. Then in 2013, you had IGN's SimCity review, which was massive controversy regarding misrepresentation of the always online issues. EA's SimCity reboot required an always online connection, which caused massive server failures at the launch of the game. IGN gave the game an 8 out of 10 and stated that it had very few technical problems. IGN did not experience a severe launch downtime players suffered, or didn't even acknowledge it in a review at the time. The review gave the impression that the game was stable and functional, and players thought that this was dishonest, and thousands upon thousands of people were literally unable to log in for days. And then IGN later updated the review score downward and added disclaimers about the issue. But IGN was accused of downplaying the known problems during the review period, which created the perception that the review misrepresented the game's actual real state. And again, this happens literally all the time with IGN and other outlets. I want to make it very clear, this is not just solely an IGN problem. Sure, they're the ones right now who are being talked about with the Escape from Tarkov review, but they're not the only ones in the gaming media that have done this stuff. All right, this is just, again, it's an IGN video, so I'm giving you their history, but still, other establishments, other websites have absolutely done things like this. Kotaku included. Every single one of them have done. And then in 2014, you have IGN's Alien Isolation review, where they critiqued that the game was just too long. It was repetitive. It wasn't scary enough.
It's skill issue.
Fine, you know, as subjective criticism, nothing wrong with that, but the controversy was how it was presented. Leaked internal gameplay telemetry from Creative Assembly later showed that IGN's reviewer played significantly less of the game than they implied, which is very similar to what is going on now with the Escape from Tarkov review. They accused them of basically, you know, not necessarily being malicious, but they accused them of reviewing the game without finishing it and presenting opinions as though they were based on a full gameplay experience. IGN never admitted any wrongdoing with this, but the perception of dishonesty stuck around for obvious reasons. And again, guys, this is something that they've done many times over. This is why when I saw the whole Escape from Tarkov situation, it was not shocking to me in the slightest. I was like, okay, this is what, like the 100th time IGN has been caught not actually playing the video games in the way that they say that they do. These journalists don't freaking play video games, ladies and gentlemen. They're the first ones to complain about YouTubers not talking about the games and just complaining all the time. But these are the ones that will do the same exact thing, but worse, because they don't actually play the video games.
It is ridiculous, yet you wonder why nobody trusts them anymore. No, generally.
We need more air support! Say again! We've got armor advancing on our position! Need air support!
Oh!
Damn it! Radio's hit! Anyone have any flares?
Forget it. You mark targets with flares, you'll end up getting killed.
Listen, it's better than those tanks running me over. Give me your flares!
Get your ass back here quick.
Give me a runner! We're marking targets with flares!
Juju's in the open out there!
Yeah, I know that now. Again. Nobody. Also, let me be clear, don't forget the cup. Yeah, no. Come on. Yeah, these people always complain, YouTubers that complain about video games, that they don't...
Let's move, Nichols! Damn it, Nichols! Guzzo's running out of time!
I'm going.
That was damn foolish of you, Guzzo.
Get
Let's move, Nichols!
Go. Come on. Go. Go.
Fall back! Fall back to rally point!
Again, don't forget the Cuphead situation. Gene Takahashi, who couldn't even get through the tutorial. Now you know why many gamers, or in this case, the disconnect between gamers and video game journalists. That's what happens.
Medic! Medic! Dixon's been shot! The sergeant's been shot! Move out! Where the hell's that damn medic? The medic's dead! Oh, damn it! Dix!
McCullen. Forget him, Dix.
McCullen told me to tell you.
You're not dying like him.
He told me to tell you. You should go to hell.
Stay with me,
But
Dix.
you're okay, Guzzo.
Dix,
You're okay.
come on, buddy. God damn it.
Somebody get me a bandage for my leg here!
Who's in charge here?
What do you need, Private?
Jerry's falling back. Your squad's needed on the other side of town to drive him out.
I go with us! We could use the firepower. The rest of you, ammo up, leave your gear. Just your weapons and bullets.
If you're gonna critique something to that extent, then you better have played the video game.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have an opinion. You can obviously have an opinion about what you see in the video game without having to play it. All you gotta do is look at the trailer, have your assumptions, because that's what the trailer's for. It's first-hand impressions. That's fine.
right.
But if you're gonna do
Yeah.
a full-on review for the game and claim that you played it, you better bet your ass off that you actually played the game. And then another famous example, and I believe this one was deleted, was IGN Israel's Star Citizen hands-on review from 2015 with very questionable reporting, because apparently they had said that they played a new build of Star Citizen and had specific gameplay experiences that were described that did not exist in any available build at the time. Fans quickly pointed out that the described features were not available in any publicly released or press builds that were available at the time. The preview appeared to be based on assumptions, not actual hands-on experience. IGN quietly removed or edited the content after the backlash.
Emotional
and the incident is
damage.
frequently cited as IGN publishing demonstratively false first-hand claims of video games that they said that they played, but they never actually played. Again, this is it's amazing when you go down memory lane and realize that IGN has just, this is their business model, right? Put out the article in the hopes that nobody catches on that you didn't actually play the game whatsoever. You end up finding out that it's complete bullshit, everything that they're saying about their playtime and whatnot. And then of course you have IGN's Pokemon or Us video review using the wrong gameplay footage in 2014. And while this is not exactly lying, it's basically misleading enough to cause controversy. IGN released a video review for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and the gameplay footage shown was from a different game, Pokemon X and Y. The viewers accused IGN of reviewing the game without proper footage or hands-on experience. Even though IGN said it was simply a production mistake, many fans accused them of fabricating impressions, reusing footage from older titles, and not actually playing the game during video production. And this helped fuel the long-running joke that IGN reviewers do not play video games. So now that we kind of went down memory lane and we have an understanding of what all of this means, what is going to happen going forward?
I know Hypnotic would say it, but I will say it too. Absolutely nothing. Nothing's gonna happen. Look, the only way. Listen. Remember one thing. AI, okay? Look.
Here's the situation. We're taking out this tank. Bazooka, advancing straight down the street. Squad, flank through the building on the left. Nichols, you take point.
We're taking a lot of fire from the Germans! Get to cover!
Okay.
Stick with me!
Again, let me point it out. Like Gara would say, regardless what reviewer says, regardless what journalist says, you play it, okay? Don't listen to IGN, Kotaku, whoever they are. Play it. If you like Escape from Tarkov, go play it. Oh. Why do I do that for? I don't know.
Find some cover, damn it!
Oh. Receive a grenade.
One down!
Oh.
Jerry's!
Ow.
To the southeast!
Oh. Come on. What? Oh, hit.
Go, go, go!
Again.
German infantry! To the southeast! Time to kick some ass!
Come on.
Jerry to worry about! Go, go, go!
They're tough. Whoop. Point.
Jerry's trying to flank our boys! Let's go! Use that car for
So,
cover!
here's the thing.
All right, let's move out!
If journalist said, okay, if video game journalist says this game is what, 6 out of 10 or something, read the reviews and see how long do they play it. I play where winds beat, okay? Which I think by the time December 15, I could probably be at 15, maybe 20 hours in. Who knows? So far, I would say it was a relaxing experience, but there's still more to be discovered. No, there is. I haven't tried battle passes yet, but don't forget, I'm mostly a single-player game.
Keep the pressure on him!
But I know. Oh, there you are. Come on, get. Hook your head. Okay, do this fashion way. Okay. So, in light of this, like he says, the only way for IGN to at least admit is if, well, you know, I hate to say this word AI though. Yeah. I think maybe AI should replace these journalists. Look, I really don't like people losing their job, okay? But sometimes when you are an activist, yeah, no, you don't have my sympathy, okay?
Time to kick some ass!
No, generally.
Enemy down! Achtung! Granate! Fighting a Granate!
Ah.
Fang das hier! Bewegung! Keine Zeit verschwenden!
Allez.
Let's go!
No. See?
Cover at those crates!
The journalists, I think the journalists today, when they try to review this game, oh, they won't do it.
Go, go, go!
Regardless of the difficulty option.
Absolutely nothing, right? Like, IGN is going to continue doing what they're doing. They even got community noted on their post over on X. It says the reviewer isn't being fully honest in his review, and people have brought this to the attention with his own videos attached to the said review. One Peg has brought all of this to light, asking for a fair review from IGN. It's always amazing when IGN gets community noted for the nonsense they put out there on the internet. So IGN, what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They're going to stick to this review. They're never going to talk about or confront any of this. They're not going to provide any proof about actually playing the game because they don't have any, right? And if anything, maybe the reviewer will end up, staying in Tarkov for another 50, 60 hours forcibly for the next couple of days, and then he's going to post a screenshot of his account saying, see, I actually did play the game. But it doesn't matter. People have the screenshot of when you were at 52 hours and you weren't at the 120 hours that you claim to be at. It's because the journalists all care about perception, right? These are people that care about the opinions of others about them versus them just being honest about what they're good and not good at, right? They don't want you to think that they're not good at video games. They damn sure don't want you to think that they don't play the video games. So they're going to put out this nonsense in the hopes that you never check it. You never actually look into it. You never get to see it. And the mistake that they made was that they provided a screenshot of the account that is actually searchable over at Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
So this is just an unfortunate situation for IGN, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm glad that people are understanding little by little with the rise of YouTubers and the rise of social media outside of IGN and gaming media websites. I'm glad that people like One Peg exist because that way we can get the full understanding of these reviews and realize that they don't mean anything. Everybody knows these reviews don't mean anything, but the truth is that there's a lot of people that still look at these established places as something that, it should be looked at. This is, how many people still use IGN that are normies? A lot of people, right? And you may not want to admit that, and their views are way down. Of course, all these gaming media websites are way down, but IGN is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, that are still around when it comes to mainstream gaming media, and they're still doing the same thing that they've been doing for over a decade, and it's working. It's working with some of the normies still. So fortunately, things like this exist because that way we could at least call them out for the nonsense and say you didn't actually play the game, or you didn't play the game the way that you said that you did. So if you're lying about your hours played, well, what else are you lying about, right? Again, it's one thing to not know about something at the time of reporting. That's fine. Information moves very quickly. You can always edit it in afterwards. That's not a problem. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is you gave information about your playtime that was completely fabricated. You yourself chose to give that information. Nobody else gave that information. Nobody else made that information. IGN themselves, the reviewer, made that information and lied about their playtime, saying they were almost double or more than double the amount of playtime than they actually were. So by you deciding to do that, and by you deciding to lie to people from the jump, that immediately makes your entire review extremely suspicious, and people should treat it as such.
Okay, first, shout out to Hypnotic. I have to say, that was a good video. Again, listen, folks, now you know why journalists and video game journalists are being laid off left, right, and center. Look, these journalists, they really need to stop doing this. Ooh. Got him. This gunner is really telling, folks.
Time to go!
Oh.
Don't run it, you bastard! In the open! To the door! Fire, guys! Let's move!
So, again, like I would say from Gar, okay? Regardless what the journalist says, play what you like, okay? If you like Escape from Tarkov, play it, okay? Don't let people say otherwise.
Hey, Gary! This is it! Keep up the fire, guys! And stay down!
Yeah, don't let people say otherwise, okay? Again, I would say this. For wherever you see,
Come on, let's go!
oh, say this again, folks. I'm gonna be playing Where Winds Meet, so it took me, well, I already made more than 20 hours by the time December 15 rolls around. So look, when it comes to our playtime, okay, I think if you spend a lot of time, say in what, the base area without playing raids or anything, yeah, I think they would count too. So here's the thing. I would say this. Oh, sorry. If you spend a lot of time in the base not doing any raids, you know, just upgrading and all that, usually it takes maybe an hour or so, maybe. But if you spend a lot of time, mostly raiding and all that, that could add up. But I think, in my opinion, I think that reviewer have spent a lot of time in the menu section or in the training section, whatever it is, because they don't want to play the raid because they suck at it. I can say for certain. Look, I can say for certain that I suck at video games, okay? At least I have the potential to admit my mistake. I showcase gameplay. Yeah, we can't do anything about it. I think, look, I hate to say this because, frankly, whether we like it or not, we have to replace journalists. Because the journalists can either be replaced by either AI or YouTubers. I'm probably certain the journalists don't like it. Look, I really don't like people losing their jobs, okay? But activists, I have no sympathy for them, okay? Activists in video game journalists, yeah, same too. I don't have sympathy for them. Don't forget, you cannot spell ignorant without IGN. So, enjoy this cutscene. 2026 is gonna be a fun day. Hope you're ready for 2026.